Hey, good evening, family. A little bit later than what we normally get on live for. That's broken English, right? A little bit late than normal for Off Plantation Radio. How about that? Okay, I said it better. Anyway, so glad to see you guys here. We're not going to be here too long tonight. I went last minute. I said, you know what? Let me jump on live here for a little bit here. So that's what we're doing right now on Off Plantation Radio. Hope you guys had a great week. We're at the conclusion of yet another wonderful week that we made it. Yes, we did. We made it. And next thing you know, we're going to be here on coming in April. Coming in April hot, y'all. So we're just going to give people just a few more minutes to get on here. And then I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm not going to waste too much time here. I'm just going to get right in here in the news. And just a couple of quick reminders. Again, you notice that we started our yet another podcast. It's called The Digital Plantation. And that is exclusive right here on YouTube. And let me see if I can pull it up on the screen here for you right quick where you can find it. As soon as I can get it up here. Yeah, it's just another way for us to kind of do, like I said, I'm just doing some little bit of rearrangements here and how I do things here on this particular platform. So let me get this up here. There we go. There we go. So yeah, how did this even show up here? All right. Anyway, so these two here, it'll show up here on the on this screen here. All right, on this particular part. When you go to the main page, you'll see these two pop up right here. All right, and then there'll be more that we're going to be adding there very soon. All right. And then make sure you check out our shorts section. We got a lot of shorts that we've been adding. I just added one today, and we're adding more and more, at least 2 or 3 every day. So you check that out when you get a chance. All right, we're gonna give people about another minute here, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump in and get started. We got Happy Nappy Roots in the house. Talking about hola, bonjour, ni hao. Okay, all right. You learn a little language there. Okay, all right. Got Juliet Matthews in the house. Matthew in the house. We got a y'all girl. We got Try Buy It, Make It, Sell It. As always, thank you so much Thank you so much, guys, for joining us this wonderful evening. And let me get to my situation here. I'm trying to figure out how did that thing pop up there. Anyway, let me see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. I took care of that. All right, cool. All right. So good to see everybody. We're going to go ahead and jump in tonight. And like I said, again, I do promise I'm not going to be long because I'm starting late. So I ain't trying to be up here long anyway. All right. So let's go ahead again. So glad to see each and every one of you guys. Make sure you check out our store, which is sambatree.com. Sambatree.com. We got a new product in stock that we're about. Yeah, I told you we be adding stuff now. We be adding stuff. It's not on the site yet, but it will be very soon. We'll be adding that very, very soon. We just got to take it through our little thing where we test it out and make sure everything is everything and we like it and it's something that works in our home, because that's how we do it. That's the normal process of how we add stuff to sambatree.com. And then, you know, you can buy things in bulk now at sambatree.com. And then check that out when you get a chance. The website again is sambatree.com. We're running a few specials too, so check that out, okay? And the other thing you want to go to is our other page is Shockstock, shockstock.art. And this is where you'll find, of course, we have all the royalty-free images here. We're going to be adding some more here very soon. We got our coloring book here. So make sure you check that out too. It's a coloring book. We call it the Forever Coloring Book, meaning that once you buy it, you got 50 pages. And it ain't just, it's just a nice little coloring book. No, we put some meaning and some thought behind it, okay? We put some real thought behind it. It's some positive images of black folks, that are doing things, that are building things, running their own businesses and stuff like that. And like I said, again, it's a digital coloring book, meaning that you get it, you print it, and however you want to distribute it to your classroom, to your children, to your cousins, to your auntie and them, grandma, y'all can all be sitting down and coloring and talking about how to build something, how to own a business at the same time. It's $9.95. And then we have cards and accessories as well that we have, is a lot of greeting cards that we have as well. So if you're looking for some greeting cards, all the ones that we have on here right now are blank. But we will be adding some more here where we're going to actually write our little inspirational words in there too. So that's up and coming too. But right now we got some beautiful greeting cards here that you can check out. All of this is on chalkstock.art. Okay, so just wanted to let you know. And let me see here. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. All right. Again, so glad to see everybody in the house. Hey, Brittany, and let's see, Kona Yahoo. All righty. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me pull up here this story that I just came across. As you can see, the title of this broadcast, man, I tell you, it's really something. And I'm talking about, when I say black representation, I want you to understand what I mean by that, okay? I'm not saying all black people are failing us. No, I'm not saying that at all. So please don't just jump to that conclusion. What I'm saying is, this whole notion of, if you get a black person and you put them in a position of power simply because they're black, that somehow that is going to bring about some real change, some positive change, and it's going to push us forward as a people and all that kind of stuff, right? We a lot of people like to hold on to that notion, but what we have to understand is that the system itself is what's the problem. That's the problem. It ain't that we don't have enough black folks in the house. It's the fact that the system itself is corrupted. Okay, so if I got a failing enterprise and I'm like, okay, let me get some black people and I'm gonna make them the CEO, that's not going to change the business. The business model is still the business model. There's an individual, I'm not going to mention their name because I know this person for a long time ago, but people in the Christian world, if I was to mention their name, they would definitely know who I'm talking about. This individual is pretty well known, but we knew this individual back when they weren't like that at all. So it was very surprising to see them on the headlines. But anyway, they have a ministry where they go around and the part of their ministry is basically guilting white ministries and guilting white churches and trying to convince them, hey, listen, in order for you to be a real Christian, you have to make sure you are hiring black people and putting them in positions of authority in your seminaries, in your schools, or in your seminaries, in your churches and all that. Because otherwise, if you don't put enough black people, in positions of authority in your ministries, then you, by default, you are not fulfilling the Great Commission or whatever, that kind of stuff. So this is what we got going on right now, family. So that's what I'm trying to establish. If the system itself, if the baseline is faulty, if it's off, it don't matter if you put a dog up there, it's still going to be busted. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to look at the system first, right? So that leads into the story that I want to talk about really quick here. This individual, Michael Langley, Commander Michael Langley, I may add, he is over AFRICOM, okay? And AFRICOM is basically the U.S. operations, full operations on the continent of Africa. Now, when the United States over in Africa, as you know, if you've ever seen maps, you can do a search for yourself and you'll find that, the United States has a lot of activity going on the continent. They had a lot of, and it's been going on for a very long time, and it's going to continue to go on for a very long time. They use that for training. They use that for their black box operations, all that kind of stuff, right? And so they've been doing that for a very, very long time. So anyway, so Biden comes into place. And now all of a sudden they said, okay, we're going to put a black man in office. We're going to put a black man over AFRICOM. And I remember when this announcement was made, it was like, oh, we got the first African-American, that's over AFRICOM. And, this is so significant. And, I feel so proud. I feel so proud to be an American that we have a black man that's in office. So he's in position. And just recently, he was before the Senate being quizzed. I mean, this thing is pretty serious. And I'm going to play for you the video because I want you to see it, because this has to be seen. And I want you to listen in to what this man is admitting to on what's going on over there on the continent of Africa. Let me get that up here. Here we go. You take a listen to this, take a gander at this, like they say.
I have constituents that have been scattered across Africa on train and equip missions. So just ballpark, in the last decade, how many Africans has the United States military trained and equipped?
Congressman, I don't have that figure. I can get that figure for you.
Ballpark, just, how many?
Congressman, it would be a wild guess, right?
Seems like something we should know, right?
Over the years, we have trained a substantial number, especially in the Gulf of Guinea states, but including
like more than 10,000.
It is more than 10,000.
More than 50,000.
I'd say we're reaching around 50,000
okay.
at least.
And what percentage of the people we've trained end up participating in insurrections or coups against their own government?
Very small number, Congressman. Very small number.
So what percentage do you think?
I'd say probably less than 1%.
But it does happen.
The IMEC program is in force, and we've pushed a significant number through our schools across the
and what data sets do you track to arrive at the conclusion that less than 1% of the roughly 50,000 that we've trained have participated in coups? Because it'd be like about 500. About 1% of 50,000.
Congressman, you may have that information. I don't at this time, but I know.
Well, I know there are some, right? Like go ahead and throw up that image. This is Colonel Mamade Doumbouya, and this is a photo of him. Did we train and equip him? In Guinea?
By name, I cannot identify that.
Well, that guy in the middle with the big red hat, Colonel Mamade Doumbouya, that's him with a bunch of U.S. service members outside of our embassy. And just months after this photo was taken in 2021, he led a coup in Guinea and threw out the leader. Does that concern you?
Congressman, core values is what we start off with in IMA programs.
Do we share core values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Core values. I will repeat that. Core values. Respect for humanity.
Do we share those values with Colonel Doumbouya?
Absolutely. In our curriculum.
He led a coup?
We do.
Okay, well, that's a very telling answer. In Burkina Faso, did we share core values with the leader that we trained there who led a coup?
It's in our curriculum. We stress core values. We request civilian-led governance.
Wait, hold on. Is leading coups in our curriculum?
Absolutely not. Civilian-led.
My question is, do we share core values with the coup leader in Burkina Faso who we trained?
Holistically, we teach core values with a respect for civilian governance, apolitical, and that's what sticks across a very high percentage in the over 99 percentile.
Right? But not everybody. And I wonder how many people it takes to plan a coup. I mean, initially you didn't know how many we trained and equipped. Then you said it was 1%. You had no basis for that 1% number because there's no data set you track. Mr. Chairman, I seek unanimous consent to enter into the record. Another U.S. trained soldier stages a coup in West Africa by The Intercept.
Without objection, so ordered.
And I further seek unanimous consent to enter into the record, U.S. forces trained the Guinean colonel behind the recent coup in West African country, and this is regard to Guinea.
Without objection, so ordered.
So I guess the question is, why should U.S. taxpayers be paying to train people who then lead coups in Africa?
Congressman, our curriculum harvests core values and also to be able to embolden these countries for a representative democracy.
But General, that democracy isn't what emerges. The problem is, I know you may have great confidence in what you're teaching, but when two governments have been overthrown, I guess how many governments have to be overthrown by people we train before you sort of get the message that our core values might not be sticking with everyone? Is it 5 countries? 10?
We'll continue with our persistence in assuring
But do you think it's
that
working?
they harbor democratic norms, democratic values.
Just a moment ago, you
apolitical.
said we shared core values with Colonel Doumbouya. You said that just moments ago in response to my question, and his core value seems to be leading a coup. So I don't think it's stuck. I think we should at least know how many countries we train the coup plotters in. How many is too many? Because clearly 2 is not too many, and I think we could use our resources far more effectively than doing this.
Oh my goodness. I should have retitled this broadcast here, man. I should have retitled this, man. I tell you what that reminds me of, that whole exchange. I'm trying to find something right now. Hold on for a second. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me see what part here I want to play. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me got it. I got it right here. I can't play the video because I get in trouble for that, but I can't play the audio. But this reminds me of a certain movie. I'll play the audio of it. Hold on for a second. All right, hold on.
You ever served in an infantry unit, son? Ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Ever put your life in another man's hands? Asked him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders, son. We follow orders or people die. It's that simple. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal. Colonel, I have just one more question before I call Airman O'Malley in.
Hold on, let me skip
Why
it.
would Santiago be in danger? Why would it be necessary to transfer him off the base?
Hold up.
Santiago was a substandard Marine. He was being transferred.
That's not
because-
what you said. You said he was being transferred because he was in grave danger.
That's correct.
You
but
said he was in danger. I said grave danger. You said, is there
I
any
recall
other...
what I
I
said.
can have the court reporter read back to you.
I know what I said. I don't have to have it read back to me like I'm...
Why the 2 orders? Colonel?
Sometimes men take matters...
Anyway, you get the point. That was the black version of A Few Good Men right there, what we were just listening to, what we were just watching there. That was the black version of it. This general, this commander got up there and was, trying to stick to our core values. So now this Negro is in a position continuing the legacy of the United States of America in the continent of Africa. And what is that legacy? Going into country after country after country throughout Africa. Not only do you have bases set up all throughout the continent of Africa, but these bases are used as a launching pad, if you will, to flip over any government that the United States does not like. That's what's happening right now. And now, guess who's the it man in that situation? He is. This guy that we just saw that was trying to explain and all of that. But it is what it is. Again, So again, some people watch that and be, "Oh, brother, why you always going against the black man? It's not the black." I've already covered that. I didn't say it was all on him. What I'm saying is the representation in of itself, as you can see, Exhibit A, it doesn't work. It doesn't change anything. Just because you have somebody in a position like that, you think he was going to go over there and say, "You know what? As a black man, as a black American, as someone that I love my country, the United States, but at the same time, I have a love and a compassion for the people of Africa. I want to make a change. Mr. President, with all due respect, we can't do this anymore. We can't overturn governments. We can't do that anymore. We can't train terrorists anymore. We cannot do that. Mr. President, with all due respect, I will not tolerate that at all." Did you really think he was going to do that? Of course not. He's going to continue on what they are telling him to do. And if he doesn't do it, guess what's going to happen? He is going to go for a nap. He's going to go. I'll put it this way. He will be going into early retirement. How about that? He will be going into early retirement. Anyway. So I just wanted to show you that because I saw that and I was like, wow, isn't this something? Isn't that something? And but it's just yet another example here. Another one that I would like to share is this one is I have this on Twitter. And this is what was going on just this week in the White House. This story here. Hold on. Where is it? This is the regarding the guy from News Africa, who was basically putting his foot down and saying, "Hey, listen, I'm tired of y'all skipping over me like this," and so you had all of these people. You even had black folks. They were specifically getting black women. They had people. What's her name? Whoopi Goldberg, and then Holston. I don't know. I forgot her first name. The both of them on the View. There was some other black women that were on Twitter that was taking this gentleman from News Africa out to the woodshed and just really trying to say, you're just out of line and all of this other stuff, right? It's really something. But anyway, so the White House this week, as soon as I could find this video. The White House has taken issue, if you're not aware of this, they have taken issue with Uganda. Why, did you ask? Because Uganda has put their foot down when it comes to the LGBT movement coming into their country. And they're saying, we're not going to tolerate the LGBT agenda in this country. You can forget about it. We ain't tolerating that at all. And so this is the White House reacting to the news regarding Uganda's stance when it comes to LGBT in Uganda. All right, so let's take a listen here.
I want to say one thing at the top. We have grave concerns with the passage of the Anti-Homosexuality Act, AHA, by the Parliament of Uganda yesterday, and increasing violence targeting LGBTQI plus persons. If the AHA is signed into law and enacted, it would impinge upon universal human rights, jeopardize progress.
Hold on. Let me back up because I want y'all to listen to exactly what she's saying here, because we're going to look at every word that she's saying here, and I'm going to point you right to something else here in a moment. Okay, this is the first pearl in a string of pearls that we're going to go. So let me start this from the beginning. I want y'all to listen intently to what she's saying here.
I want to say one thing at the top. We have grave concerns with the passage of the Anti-Homosexuality Act, AHA, by the Parliament of Uganda yesterday, and increasing violence targeting LGBTQI plus persons. If the AHA is signed into law and enacted, it would impinge upon universal human rights, jeopardize progress in the fight against HIV/AIDS, deter tourism, and invest in Uganda and damage Uganda's international reputation. The bill is one of the most extreme anti-LGBTQI plus laws in the world. Human rights are universal. No one should be attacked, imprisoned, or killed simply because of who they are or whom they love. I want to say
now she's speaking from personal experience because, you know, she got a white wife. Okay, so she's speaking from her heart when she's reading this. And so anyway, so Uganda is taking a stance on this when it comes to the LGBT. They're not talking about killing people. You know, they're not talking about going out and killing people. When it comes to HIV, you don't just have homosexuals that get that. You know, it's also heterosexuals get HIV as well. But I doubt very seriously that Uganda will not get the medications they need to treat HIV. Do you really think that Bill Gates is going to skip over the opportunity to hand out free drugs to Africa? Do you really think that's going to happen? Of course not. He's going to make an exception for that. But anyway, I want you to, like I said, we listen to what she said now. Now I'm wondering, is this also part of the White House's anger when it comes to, what did the White House have to say when it comes to moves like this? Now, this happened in Nigeria, not in Uganda. This is in Nigeria. Africa has been getting on point for a long time when it comes to this agenda, this sexualized agenda that's being pushed by the West and by other powers that should not be. Cough, cough. Anyway, rapists will be surgically castrated, and anyone who rapes a child will face the death penalty under new laws in Nigerian state. Now, you can say what you will about Nigeria, but when it comes to taking a stance, when it comes to people who rape a child, I wonder, does that also apply to women? But, anyway, that's another question to be asked. But if you rape a child, they're saying, there's no room for that. You're going to be castrated and you will face the death penalty. See, what people got to understand is this whole LGBT agenda. I have been telling y'all this and telling y'all this and telling y'all this. This is not something that was birthed out of us. This is not something that was birthed from us at all. Okay. What I told y'all is, again, you look at the powers that should not be, that are pushing this situation. And what am I talking about? Because, see, I don't like just saying, the powers that shouldn't be, the powers that shouldn't be. And you don't know who I'm talking about. I think you know what I'm talking about. It starts with a J and it ends with a you fill in the rest. And the reason why, or I'll say it this way, Judaism. When you look at Judaism itself, go on my community page. Judaism, they are telling you, and they've been saying this for a very long time, that part of their belief system is not one sex, gender. They believe in at least seven. It's some sources will say 7, others says 9 different genders. And this is something that they have been pushing for a very long time and have been pushing it in American policy. They've been pushing it, and through American policy, they've been pushing this on Africa as well. And now they're threatening Africa and saying, listen, if you do not fall in line with our agenda on this, basically, you're going to suffer the consequences. That's what they're saying. And so Uganda, jumping back to Uganda's putting down, they putting down a hammer. They say, no, we don't want this. We don't want this kind of mess up in our country. Now, I've shown you pictures before. I'm going to show you this one. Now, this is a person who was a transgender. Now, you remember I talked about this, what they do. Okay, this is just how crazy this is, because I'm going to keep on showing these pictures until people get it. Now, someone who wants to be a woman, who wants to be a man down there, if you know what I'm talking about, they got to get the skin from somewhere in order to make that part. So they literally take the skin, strip the skin off of legs, off your thighs, typically the upper thigh area. And in this case here, on this person's arm, strip the skin off. What you're looking at, that's permanent. That's permanent. That ain't your skin. When it gets to like that, that ain't growing back. Your skin ain't like that. For anybody, if you've ever seen anybody with severe skin damage like this, like if they were in a car accident or something like that, there's some things they can fix. There's other things they cannot. Now that they could fix, but it'll probably be thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And they'll probably have to use stem cells too, which is aborted babies, right? But this is the kind of stuff that countries in Africa are saying, nah, you keep that stuff over there. Now, I want to play for you this as well. Let me skip over here. How many of you guys have heard of Dennis Prager? Dennis Prager. Now, he's one of many. He's like in kind of along with like on the right. He's the big conservative guy right now. All right. And so Dennis Prager, there's a clip that I have of him saying something. And when I heard it, I was like, well, I mean, I'm not surprised at all. Because, as you know, he's a Jewish man and he said something that kind of goes right along with what they believe. Ultimately, this is why I keep telling our people and warning our people that Judaism is not our thing. It's not our thing at all, especially when you look at the history of Judaism. So I want you to take a listen to what Dennis Prager said in this interview here. And it goes right along to what I've been saying, that this is what they've been believing and this is what they've been teaching. Now, this is a man that like preaches even like Judeo-Christian values and all that, but always pay attention to the Judeo part of it. All right. Take a listen to what Dennis Prager said in this interview.
No, normal is not defined by your sexual orientation.
Yeah.
That's what normal. I'm not saying heterosexual is more normal. By the way, I actually believe bisexual is the norm.
Yep. He said, I believe bisexual is the norm. This falls right in line with Judaism teaches. And maybe tomorrow, I don't know, but I want to go even further with that because a lot of our people have been embracing this stuff and they don't. Should I do it now? I was trying to pop in and I was trying to pop out, but okay, I'll go ahead. Let me show you exactly, because I have to show y'all this, because some of y'all, even after I show you this, some of y'all still ain't gonna believe me. Genesis, I'm gonna go to Genesis chapter 1. All right. Let me pull this up here. I was not trying to be up here long, y'all. Y'all keep pushing me here. I don't know why y'all do that. Y'all ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I'm just playing. Let me pull this up here. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 1, I believe it's towards the end. I'm trying to get the KJV up here, since some of y'all think that's the only one that's the official one that came out of heaven. All right. Anyway. All right. So that article that I linked to the other day is on the community page. All right. Talking about the connection of Judaism and multiple sexes and what they believe. And remember, I told you the Bible in of itself was birthed out of Judaism. All right. So anyway, this is why we can't go around and saying that is our history book. All right. So this is what they say this actually meant when you read this. OK, so Genesis chapter 1, and we're going to go to let's see. We're going to go to here. We're going to go to verse 26. Let's go ahead and read it. All right. And it says, and God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over the cattle and over all the earth and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. All right. And then let's get to verse 27. So God created man in his own image, and in the image of God, he created him, singular. When I say him, if my wife, if someone said, "What, Nicole, where's Dwayne?" You mean him? She's talking about me, singular. Okay. Again, I'm just telling you what they are saying. They who wrote this, what they're saying this really meant. Okay. It's going to mess some of y'all up here. It's going to mess y'all up. So y'all not going to try to blow me up in the comments. This is not coming from me. This is them. Okay. Singular. Verse 28. And God blessed them. And okay. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God, he created him. Male and female, he created them. All right. And God blessed them and said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it and have dominion over the fish of the sea and over the fowl of the air and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Okay. So we've been reading this up to this point. We're like, okay, he created man. He created Adam and Eve, right? There's no Eve mentioned here. There's no, he mentions, it just mentions male and female. He didn't say the woman here. The woman's not mentioned here. He took a singular person and said he created male and female. There's no mention here about him opening up. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, so now let's go to Genesis chapter 2. And we're going to get down about halfway down here. And Adam gave name. Okay, we're going to get to verse 21. And the Lord God caused, and Adam gave, verse 21. And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead thereof. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Now, wait a minute now. We just finished reading here in this part right here that I just finished reading. It says that it's talking about that he created man and woman here. Why is it repeated again? Guess what? It's not a repeat. These are two singular issues, two singular events. So what we've been reading up to this point, all of this time, when you read this, what the writers, which are these people, what they're saying is that when you read this, because this is what is taught in Judaism, is that when God created man, he actually created him having both a male part and a female person, like male and female. You got male qualities and you got female. So by nature, according to Judaism, man is naturally bisexual. This is where they get this from. I know it's going to take a minute. Again, I'm not teaching this. In other words, I'm not saying, yes, that's true. I'm saying this is what the original people, if you want to understand, you got to go where? You got to go to the original. You got to go to the authors. You got to go to the original folks and find out exactly what they meant in writing this. They put it in this article in the New York Times. I posted it up there for y'all. Don't just read the headline when I post stuff like that. Read the whole article. They broke it down. And this is based off of, and this stems from what the Talmud teaches, that there's 7, like I said again, the Talmud is all over the place. Some places it says there's 7 different sexes. Others it says there's 9 different sexes. And then it also makes allotment for intercourse with underage. I ain't gonna get too deep on that one. So that's what they're saying right here, because all of this time, you and I, we would sit down and we would write or read this, and we're questioning, we're like, why is it the creation of man and woman written twice? Like, it never, and then in church world, you just kind of like, oh, well, maybe it was just kind of like a precursor to what was going to happen in chapter 2. No, it wasn't, according to them. Now, I know some of y'all that listen to me right now, you're in disbelief and you're like, oh no, that's not absolute. That is not true. No, it's not. They're just a bunch of liars, and no, it's not true at all. Well, what ground do you have to say that it's not true? Meaning that if that's not, how can I tell them if they wrote this thing and preserved this thing and passed it down from generation to generation? What ground do I have to say that, no, y'all wrong? So it's like if I wrote a story, for example, and then someone in the chat said, and I said, okay, this is my main character. They're going to be doing this and they're going to be doing that or whatever. And then you come along and talk about, no, that ain't right. Nope, you need to put a blue shirt on them. No, they don't need to be living in the city. They need to be living in the country. Wait a minute, hold on. What authority you had to come in and mess up my story? I wrote it. Well, that's the same position as a lot of us. Because I know for some of y'all, you want to go, no, that's not true. That's not true. They're a bunch of liars. Well, where did you get their Bible from? Where did you get it from? From them. So this, according to them, is what they're saying. And this is what Dennis Prager is talking about right here on what you have on your screen. What he said, it comes straight from Genesis chapter 1, verse 27. Or rather, where is it? 27. Where is it? Where do you think? God said, make man. Oh, verse 26. Verse 26 and verse 27. Because it's in chapter 2. Oh, it got quiet. I know it got quiet. I know. I told you it's going to be a shocker. It's a shocker. We got to wake up, y'all. We got to wake up. Darlene, I'm asking too. We got to wake up. And people get mad when you start asking questions. Don't you dare ask. Don't ask any questions about the Bible. Don't you dare touch it. Oh, this is what we've been reading this all this time, family, and thinking that, oh, this is just a precursor to what what the Most High was saying was going to go down in chapter 2. Oh, no, that according to this text, no, that's. Yeah, ain't that something? But this wave that we're seeing right now, this LGBT thing that's been happening right now, this is the basis of, this is where they're getting it from. It's coming from out of this belief system, this of Judaism, because this is what they teach. And we talked about this, over on Bantu. We broke this all down and where they, all this stuff. And we talked about how it all ties into, circumcision as well. It's all about the down there, man. It's all about that. When you look at the Masonic symbol, when you see that, I ain't throwing out no gang signs or nothing like that. But the Masonic symbol is like that. One is the male part, the other is the female part. When you look at the Star of David, it's the same thing. It's the male part and the female part. This is why we say sexual intercourse is a spiritual event. It's not just you feeling good. This is why it burns me up. I was just, again, innocently scrolling through my timeline, and a bunch of black women, young ladies, young girls, I'll just say that, twerking all up on a mannequin in a department store somewhere. And it's just like, it's not attractive. I mean, if some you sisters out here, I don't know how they would be. I guess it might be someone listening to me that does that kind of stuff. Let me just key you in on something. None of that is that's not attractive. Remember we talked about not Rihanna, Sierra, and we talked about, how she was dressed and all that. Let me just say this. None of that it's not attractive. It really isn't. I'm going to be honest with you. It isn't. It's a huge turnoff. When I see people doing all of that, what it does, it takes away the mysticism. I don't know how I want to say it. It's the mystery. That's the word I'm looking for. See, when a woman is when you have a beautiful woman, it's something to behold and just sit and just like, man, she's a beautiful woman. And that's it. I mean, I ain't got to, and then you just leave it there. You don't be like, I wonder what she looked like under there. I don't want to, nobody don't want to see all that. You don't want to, you shouldn't be thinking that way. But women is something to behold, where it's just something beautiful. Like, wow, she's just beautiful. But all of this no. And the reason why I'm saying this is that this system has put and ingrained in our people, in the minds of our people, keep pushing sex, keep pushing it until now you're just sick of it. And so when you see that kind of stuff, and these same people who were, they got into our music system, again, I got to talk abbreviated here on this platform. And where back in the day when our music, now you had some folks that were doing some nasty music back in the day. Now let's not sit up here and act like all black music back in the day was angelic, because it wasn't. Okay. You had some nasty folks saying some nasty stuff. I'm talking about way back in the day. Okay. Way back in the day, they were saying some nasty stuff. You listen to some of that speakeasy music for real. But anyway, but when you look at hip hop, for example, there was a lot of music, even love music, like R&B, love music, love songs and stuff like that. I mean, it was beautiful. It was, it was just beautiful singing love between a man and a woman. Okay. And just, it was that. But then when you start, if you just take the time, like I used to love just knowing all the different, recording companies, the record labels that were like black owned. I used to also know about all the Christian labels that were independently owned and all of that. And I remember seeing over the years how they just all got bought out by these big boys that started changing the narrative in all of these songs and all of that stuff, and start pushing this whole sex thing. Sex, kept just pushing that. And now it's just literally changed the whole narrative. I don't want to get too far off, but my point is that they're always all about that. They're all about that all the time. Someone mentioned a real fact about Israel. I'm talking about the state of Israel. The highest concentration of not just gay individuals, but also people who were who got in trouble for abuse. Sexual abuse, because there are laws in place that allows these individuals, if they're in other countries, and they get arrested, they get in trouble legally for messing around with little children, messing around with whatever, they have backdoor ways that they can leave, that they can get out of that country. Let's say if it's France or something here in America, and they can immediately get right back to Israel. And there's a heavy concentration of them there. Trying to find an article, but never mind. So yeah, so isn't that something? Yeah, I was gonna save that one. Someone mentioned Paul. I'm not gonna talk. I might talk about that tomorrow. But anyway. But again, I go right to the source. I go right to these people. I want to hear what they're saying. What are they? What is your definition of this? And see, family, we can't just mark it off because we simply don't agree with it. They're just a bunch of liars and they're fake. They're the ones that gave you your Bible. They gave you that. So however you may feel about them, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Now, look, in the meantime, and this is the other stuff they're pushing. Now, this is a boy. This is a little boy doing this stuff. Now, you're going to sit here and tell me that there's nothing that's totally cool? He's just expressing himself. You actually believe there's nobody in the audience that's not looking at that child in a way that's very off and disgusting. That we're supposed to actually believe that. Okay. This is the kind of stuff, again, that you got countries like Uganda and other countries in Africa that are saying, don't bring that you know what up in here. Now, we may have our own problems and situations going on. We may not have it all together, but doggone it, there's certain things we're going to draw a line on. And I'm very happy for them on that. And here you got this brother that we were just talking about earlier, over, who's over AFRICOM for the United States military. He's playing along with it. Playing along right with it. Now, this is the kind of stuff I'm saying it's just crazy. Now, this is a real shirt. Let me just show you this right quick. This is a real shirt. Protect trans kids. Do you notice what's on that shirt? It's a knife. Now, you remember the image I just showed you earlier? They're telling you how these, yes, you go under the knife for real, and it's damage that's oftentimes you can't repair it. So they putting it on shirts. Let me see what else I have here. So, hats off to Africa, for the continent of Africa, for the countries that are, that are standing up and are trying to make are drawing a line when it comes to this kind of stuff. Hey, listen, Africa, we know it's hard. You're dealing with a lot of the colonialism. You got a lot of stuff that's going on over there, but for our brothers and sisters over there, that we do know that there are people over there that are trying, and you're doing the best you can with what you have. So hats off to you on that. Here's another image here. This is the kind of stuff that countries like Uganda are saying, don't bring this. Don't even think about it, bringing this over here. This is not us. And what I'm saying, and I will say it again, is that this is all part under the umbrella of Judaism. And if you are a person in the sound of my voice that is clinging to anything that is connected loosely or solidly to Judaism, this is all part of the big top. You may say to yourself, well, I don't agree with this part here. It's like someone saying that I'm a white supremacist, but I'm not a Ku Klux Klan member. It doesn't matter. You're still part of the tree. This is what our people need to understand. You're trying to embrace only part of a crap pie. So we got to be on high alert, family, and we got to make sure we understand. That's why I get on here to really try to show our people what exactly we're dealing with here and where it actually comes from. We can't just be reactionary anymore. We have to be proactive. We have to be proactive in every way. And this wave that's been going on for some time now, and trying to, overly sexualize our people through music, through shows. There was some show. It's what is it? Childish Gambino, whatever his name is. He has this show. It's called it's supposed to be it's like a play on like Beyonce Followers. It's on Amazon Prime. I ain't watching that. I am not watching that. But anyway, it's about like the when some of these fans go really extreme. And I'm, again, innocently going through my timeline, and they're showing a scene right out of it. Folks had to go right to this one scene in the movie where it's just, I'm like, what? And it's like, yeah, and people out there laughing and yeah, he getting it and all this other stuff. And that should not be normal. We have to start drawing a line, period, even when it comes to the things that we watch. It makes me mad when I find a good show, like a good show. That's why I don't have watch stuff anymore. I really don't. I'm very seldomly sit down and watch a movie. Seldom. You know what I do now when I want to watch a movie? On YouTube, here on YouTube, there's channels on here that do like movies recapped. That's how I watch movies. I don't sit there. I said I'm through with wasting my time getting all invested in a series, and then like halfway through, next thing you know, they naked floating in space somewhere. It'd be something that ain't got nothing to do, and it had nothing at all to do with the movie. Nothing at all. Like I told you, it'll be a big old planet on fire coming to Earth, getting ready to scorch the whole Earth. And it's like, you think they got to be focused on, all right, we got to figure out how we're going to get all these people off the Earth because they're going to burn up in a moment. But they still got to find 2 minutes to slip in something. Even though they all going to die, they still got to find some reason to slip in stuff. And so I said, I'm done with that. I'm serious. So you know what? That's why I said I watch the recap, the movies recap. There's a whole dozens and dozens of them here on YouTube. They just basically look at a movie and they take a movie and they shrink it down to like 10, 11 minutes, and they just give you all the highlights. So I'm with that. Someone said I watch all the oldies and reruns. I've been saying I wanted to watch some on black and white movies. Don't be sleeping on them black and white movies, y'all. Don't be sleeping on them black and white movies, man. It was some good stuff there. Let me see what else I have here, and then we're going to go ahead and call it the night. I'm getting better now. I'm looking at my time, man. I'm getting better here. All right, let me see what else I have here. We'll kind of go away from that, but I want people to really understand that what's going on and what's fueling it. That's why we were really pushing the whole thing about the watch the circumcision video, because it's not, and a lot of people, you have people coming in the comment section thinking it was just about circumcision. Oh, it's a lot bigger than that. It's a lot bigger than that. Speaking of a lot bigger than that, make sure you guys, if you haven't watched that last night, the broadcast we did over on my Bontu, I'll tell you right now, man, still on the path of discovering who we really are. And it's a very exciting path. It's a very exciting journey. And last night we were covering some stuff, some new discoveries that we're coming across. And I tell you, I came across even some more stuff today. And I said, you know what, let me move maps. So I'm in the process of moving all of my data over to a new map, because I'm finding stuff all over the place. Congo here, Congo this, Congo that. I'm like, what? It's all over the place. Amazing. So if you haven't watched that broadcast, make sure you make a point to watch that. Okay, let's get into some lighter stuff here right quick before I let y'all go, okay? Let me go here. Take a look at this. Now, this is a teacher that gave his children a very simple assignment. And and I think he said if this student gets it right, they're going to get recess or something. So take a listen.
Harley, it's up to you. All right, parents, we made a bet. If Harley gets this right, then we can have free time. If she don't, then we still working. Harley, what answer did you write down?
What? Look at him in the back, man.
Now, mind you, parents,
He crying.
Tears of joy. Harley.
That's what we're protecting, family. That's what we're protecting. That's what we're protecting. I want to be very clear with that. That is what we're protecting here. All right? We're not going to let anybody come up in this spot and try to re-educate our children into some raw foolishness. That ain't happening. That innocence that you saw, that's what we're protecting. And that is what we need more of. We need more of that. We need to see more of our children filled with joy and happiness because of life. And having a, just full of, expectancy and all of that. That's what we're protecting. We want to make sure that our children can imagine again, imagine themselves making their world a better place. Imagine inventing things, creating things, instead of allowing someone to tell them what they can't do. We're not going to let these devils out here convince small children to cut themselves, butcher themselves into oblivion. I was just talking to my daughter this afternoon. We were talking about how I was just saying how, if you've listened to some of these individuals who have went through reassignment surgery, and they will tell you that, I'm talking about now for women, when they get their breasts removed, it's still that feeling that they still have it. There's a word for it. Maybe some of you smart individuals in here, you know the word for it, but it's like you still have that memory of still having breasts. And it's very similar to, in scientists, they actually took leaves, and when you cut a leaf in half, you can still see it's like a magnetic force or whatever that's coming, the aura or whatever that's coming from, plants. It still outlines the part of the leaf perfectly that was cut off. So if I cut it in a zigzag, the aura, if you will, that's still emanating from that leaf, it's going to fill in perfectly the part that was cut off because it was removed. You removed something that wasn't supposed to be removed. You understand what I'm saying? So no, we're not doing that. No, sir. We're not doing that. And this is another article that I came across here too. I'll just show you this real quick. Okay. American IQs are dropping. Here's why it might not be a bad thing. That's what they want you. They want you nice and dumb. Thank you, Try Buy Make It Sell. Yes, it's phantom parts. Yes, it's like a phantom memory. You're right. That's what they want you. They want us to be nice and dumb. And of course, they put a black woman on the front there. You see that? Ain't that something? That's not a coincidence. All right, let's see what else I have here. Let's see. I'm looking real quick, y'all. I have some other stuff here. I'm just trying to see if I can, anything else I can hit real quick, and then we're going to call it the night. I told you I'm going to make this quick, y'all. I'm going to make this very quick. Let me see, because if I don't have, here's another one. I've been passing this one all night. There's another one here. Here's another thing here. Coming from the same people. Read it. The nuclear family must be destroyed, and people must find better ways of living together. Whatever its ultimate meaning, the breakup of families now is an objectively revolutionary process. This is from Linda Gordon. She's a Jewish feminist. Functions of the Family. Women, a Journal of Liberation. This is what you want to align yourself with? That's what you want to align yourself with. Oh yeah, there is a war going on for real, and we got to make sure we are very not just aware of it, but that's why I say, y'all, there was some debate that just happened. Some Dr. Brown and it was some other dude. Y'all don't get caught up in that. That ain't adding anything to your life at all. It literally isn't. It ain't doing a doggone thing at all. It really isn't. It's just more just people just arguing. That's all that is. You want to make a difference, build something that stands and lasts through generations. Having arguments and debates on YouTube ain't going to do it, because all YouTube got to do is unplug you, and then you ain't got no legacy. Focus on that instead of this other foolishness, for real. It is literally not worth it at all. Let me play two more things for you that are it's on the light side, and then we are in fact done. Okay. This is an old meme, but it's still funny to me. It's still funny. It's right here. Let me get this up here. Many of y'all seen this already, but it's still funny to me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
That's how folk be. And how about what's sad is, for those of you who have experience in the church world, you've seen that play out for real. We sit up there like, I literally cannot believe this. Anyway, one last thing here. I tell you, the things that we're learning, just when you just really, when we really want to understand your creator, like we always tell people, look to his nature, look to his work. And I tell you, just if you just focus on just the animal kingdom, my goodness, check this out. What is that? What in the world? Ain't that something? But it has a purpose. It has a purpose. Ain't that something? I thought it was kind of neat. I know some of y'all like, don't get around me. I know, but still, look, I wouldn't be swimming that close to it. I'm going to be honest with you. I would not be swimming close to it like that. Some of these folks, you saw that video I posted? This man in a, I don't understand those cavers, those people that be going in those caves and all that. I don't understand that. It wasn't just a cave. It was a cave full of spiders. And not just full of spiders, the cave is in a very small, it's very small and compact up in there. And, you got stalactites or whatever it is on the bottom, and he's crawling over that. He's like, ow, ooh, ow, each, ow, ooh, ooh. And I'm sitting up there like, bruh, why are you down there in the first place? Like, what's the point? Nope. I'll give you my camera and you can take it down there, but that's about as close as I'll get to it. I'll see you on the other side. I'll be in the car on my phone waiting for you. But no, sir, I ain't. No, it's nothing at all. No reason. I have no reason at all. No reason to go in a dark cave. Not at all. And I better not catch any of y'all trying to do it. Well, I'm just trying to do it. I'm trying to find out the truth. Well, that one, I I'll find it out on the internet. Okay, I'll settle for the internet on that one. I ain't try to go on that. I'll settle for TikTok on that one. Now check this out. Now nature also has these animals, his creation. You think these animals are crazy, right? You think they ain't got no sense. But check this out. Now, what you're about to see now, this is a is it an ape? There's a difference between ape and monkey, so I don't know. But basically, this monkey, I'll just say monkey, was throwing rocks at the onlookers. Because, he probably tired. He's like, y'all flew me out of my country, out of my land, and you got me in this little space right here, and then you trying to build it up, trying to make it look like Africa. This stuff ain't no Africa. I'm in Ohio somewhere. I mean, you think of the insult that is to the animals. You trying to build it up. Oh, look, it looks just like Africa, don't it? Not with this little green nasty pool y'all got here. No. And these things ain't even rocks. Anyway, let me get off of that. I haven't been to a zoo in years because last time I went to the zoo, I think it was the LA Zoo. That place was so depressing. I said, never again. I said, I feel for y'all animals, and I pray one day that y'all too will get your freedom, and then we gonna ride together up out of here. Anyway, now take a look at this. So the young man, he's a little militant here. The young monkey, he was a little militant here. He's like, I'm tired of these fools staring at me. And so watch what happens. Watch what happens.
Hostile champ.
Get your butt. Get your butt. You got to see that again. Tell my mama, I'm sorry about this. I'm sorry. These people, I'm tired of these people staring at her. If you don't get your butt, get from back there. Get your butt up. Oh, my goodness. I tell you, these animals are something. And then I'll close out with this. Our cat, which mainly stays in-house, we do allow her to go like out on the deck. We got a very small deck on the back porch there, on the back there. And we do allow her to go back there. So she's cool with that. And then every now and then we will carry her outside. We'll carry her outside. We'll hold her and we'll carry her outside. And so lately she's been getting kind of bold. So when she hears that we're coming up, let's say we were out and we were pulling up, she was standing at the door and ready to dive out. Well, one day I opened the door and it was a box. I had a delivery come in. I bent down to pick up the box. This cat jumped over my back and ran out the house. And, after, someone who's owned animals for years, after a while, I'm just, when I was younger, I'm like, oh, no, and then as you get older, it's like, bye, I'm not chasing you. But my daughter, she ran out and was chasing, and that cat did 2 laps around our outside. My daughter's chasing her. And she wasn't even trying. She was just trotting, and then eventually she ran back in the house. And then she got in the house, was like looking at us like, Ann, what you gonna do? Now look at this. This is one more. I got to show y'all one more. Now this is a horse eating his stuff, and look, he's sharing with the pigeons. Ain't that something? Look at that. Like, he's really doing it. He's sharing. This ain't like it just happened that way. No, he's sharing. Ain't that something? So yes, if you want to understand, if you want to get on the path of understanding who our creator is and who he is, what do? You look at his creation. His creation will reveal all the time all his qualities and who he is, and and so much more. So much more. So don't limit yourself, family, okay? There's a big world out there, and the Most High is wanting you to explore it and to learn more and more about him, family. But first, there's a lot of things we're going to have to let go in order to do that, okay? So that is it. That is all I have for y'all today, family. I told you I was going to keep it short. I'm getting better. You guys take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. Or evening. Still up in the air what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I will let you know if we're going to have a Saba lesson tomorrow, okay? And if we do, that one's going to be short too because, again, we got another one here. You got another one. It's like I can't go but so far with it because it'll just be too much for folks. It really will. So I just only can give you a little bit, all right? All right, family, listen, you guys take care. Love you very much, and thank you for joining me at this late hour. You guys take care, and I pray that the Most High will bless you and keep you, okay? You guys take care. I'll see you next time.